Yes, team, and welcome to episode 19 of the Reprogram Your Mind podcast. Thank you so much for being here as always. So today I'm going to talk about why happiness is a decision. Now, when we strengthen and learn how to control our mind, especially if you have ADHD, but even if you don't, then you can really train yourself to make happiness, positivity, joy, and fulfillment a decision that you are in charge of every single day. Now, this can actually become a normal state. Now, I'm sure in the past, sometimes maybe you've even been irritated or triggered by someone. I know I have, when you're like, oh my God, how are they just so happy all the time? How is he just so positive all the time? Nothing phases him. Whatever happens, he still just cracks on with a smile on his face, or she. Because that person had trained themselves to behave in that way. It's a learned skill, just like anything else. And that's what we're going to go through today. So when this can become our natural state, it is literally the best feeling in the world. I want you to imagine and visualize right now, just waking up every morning and just instantly being filled with joy, fulfillment, and happiness, and running into every day happy as Larry and living your best life. Because that's available to you. And that's what we're going to learn about today. So the people that you perceive to be happy all the time. Oh my God, how is she just so happy all the time? You'll think it's because of what they've got. Maybe their house, their car, their job, their income, their partner, the holidays they go on and everything in between. But I'm here to tell you it's not because of what they have. They only have what they have because they attracted it. They attracted success by being happy first. Everybody, as we talked about last week, everyone is chasing success, thinking that they'll be happy when they find it. People who are truly happy are happy first. So what we can do is learn to generate this. Now, when we can generate reasons to be happy from within, internal, not relying on the external to make us happy, circumstances, success, or other people, then we can really take control of our life because we're not relying on anyone or anything to make us happy, to give us validation, or to make us feel significant or loved. But I get it, right? Choosing happiness when life is hard is really, really, really difficult. Now, what we're going to come on to is why we need to understand when we can do this. Obviously, it's easier choosing happiness when life's good, when we're just feeling great naturally. But choosing happiness when life's tough is literally the most powerful skill that you will ever be able to develop in your entire life. Because what you're doing, you're sending a message to your subconscious mind saying, I don't need anything or anyone to be happy. I am happiness. I am love. I am okay. And all this is coming from internal, and I don't need anything to feel happiness. And when this happens, that multiplies and multiplies and multiplies. You know this from The Secret, the law of attraction. Like thoughts attract like thoughts. The happier we make ourselves feel through our own internal actions, then the happier we start to feel naturally. Now, unfortunately, this works both ways. And most people choose to focus on the opposite, which is what's wrong in the world, who's upset them, conversations that we had earlier, why they don't like their boss, why they don't like their partner, why they don't like their life, what they don't like about their car, the house, the area they live in. And then these things multiply as well. People think depressed thoughts and they end up depressed. People think happy thoughts and they end up being happy. Now, this even happens within my business, and in a few more episodes of the podcast upcoming, we're going to be talking about something called the negativity bias, but that's going to be in episode 21, I believe, not episode 20. I'm filming all of them today, so you've got loads of content to look forward to. Now, within my coaching business, and If you are interested in coaching, whether it's my ADHD coaching, my fitness and fat loss and body transformation coaching, or my overall life, business and sales coaching, send me a DM on Instagram, Lee Freeman UK _. You should be able to find me. I am the ADHD fat loss coach, and drop me a message. It's only me and I'll help you if I can. But here's what I was about to say about the client within my coaching business. Now, very often, they'll complete their check-in at the end of the week. And at the end of each check-in, every client does a weekly check-in for accountability. ADHD, as you know, this is key. And they have to answer 2 questions. 1, do you need my help with anything in regards to the week upcoming? And 2, do you have any feedback for me in regards to my coaching? I always ask this question because I always want to know, like, if there's something a client's not happy with, I want to help them fix it. But those questions sometimes might as well have been worded, tell me everything that you did wrong last week and tell me as many reasons as possible why you feel depressed right now. When neither of those were the questions, it was, have you got any feedback in regards to my coaching? That's where people will unleash into, no, your coaching's amazing, but I'm really struggling with, unlist loads of things. Now, we'll then go back through the check-in and we've got questions to answer, confidence markers, happiness markers, food, nutrition, training sessions, mindset work done, reminding them of their why, what were this week's biggest wins? And very often I'll go back through and read it back to them. And if we absolutely dissect the check-in, 95% of the week was great. But for some reason in the last 2 questions, all they focused on was what was negative, what they didn't do wrong, what they need help with, what they're struggling with, when really that actually wasn't even a real thing, because it was a great week. But the mind and the negativity bias had gone straight to, with the small stimuli of a question, what was wrong rather than what was right. And this is very much the same in life, right? When you ask someone people can't wait to tell you what's wrong in the world, why they're not good enough, why they're letting themselves down, whose fault it is, talking about the past, putting the world to rights. People are very afraid of sharing their wins, talking about their brand new car, talking about their new house, talking about how happy and in love they are, talking about how amazing their kids are. God, saying that, people will judge me. People will think I'm arrogant. People will think I'm up my own arse. This is all down to mindset, okay? Now, very often I have to snap them out of it. And I did it last week, and I actually talk about this in one of the further episodes back, when the client had literally, in the last 2 questions, pulled out 1 3-hour window of when they let themselves down and had a bit of a food binge because they were struggling and they essentially made a mistake. And reams and reams and reams of why they think it happens and how it made them feel and how they'd let themselves down and they'd let me down and why couldn't they fix that, and food noise and emotional eating and binging and blah, 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 blah. Pages and pages above that, they'd averaged 15,000 steps that week, every day. They'd stayed within 1,800 calories every day despite the binge. They'd done 7 hours of personal development work. They'd hydrated every single day. Their confidence was better. They'd had 5, 6, 7, 8 wins within the family and their business. And essentially, apart from that 3-hour window, the week was fucking amazing. But all their head went onto that one bit. Now, what we need to do is switch that the other way. And this is what we're going to learn today. I want you to say this out loud right now. Write it down and memorize it. I am not the victim of what's happening around me or my past actions. I am the author of my inner world and my current energetic state. Challenges and adversity do not control me. I do. Other people and their emotions do not control me. I do. And when we can really do this, you'll understand that the storm of life can be literally raging all around you and you can just stand proud in the storm and nothing affects you. People could be throwing rocks at you and they'd bounce off. People could be throwing emotional situations, challenges, give me more, it just bounces off, because I don't need any of that stuff to feel happy. Everything I need is in here. Everything I need is already in my heart and it's already in my mind. And when you can stay calm and focused, when life is going crazy around you, and like I said, it's a storm, that's when you'll be in control. And learning that is a skill. This is why I very much started out with cold showers as well. Now, I used to be in very, very, very aggressive situations, either choosing to get into a ring and cage fight, or situations when I was working in security on doors. Now, your natural reaction if someone is aggressive towards you is either to run and hide, or be aggressive and fight back. One of them doesn't work because you run away and hide, you don't deal with the situation, and then you'll get chased and caught and beaten up, essentially. The other one, unless it's controlled and in a ring, doesn't work because you can't be running front security of a club or looking after a personal private security client and getting into a scrap every time someone reacts aggressively towards them. It requires an aggressive situation and a calm mindset. And, even learning that. So that's why I practice. Well, if I can stand for 7 minutes in a cold shower and just breathe, not react, not respond, not flinch, then I can ultimately do that if someone is saying any amount of words to me on the front door of a nightclub about, the things that men come out with when they're drunk, how they're going to, sleep with my mum or stab my sister, neither of which exist, or they're going to come around and burn my house down or follow me home and shoot me in the head if I don't let them in the club, and X, Y, and Z, the things that never really happen that drunken men rant about. But it's very, I've seen it before when guys will react. How dare you say that about my mum? Or, doesn't help the situation. And I'm just using that as a personal example, but this is in life. It might be a situation at work, situation with your partner, might be a situation getting traffic when someone pulls out in front of you. Like when you can remain unfuckwithable, when chaos is going on around you, that is when new levels of life open up for you. Trust me. Because what you're saying is, I choose what and who I let into the sanctuary of my mind. Those are just words, so I'm not going to let them in. I don't listen to threats. Like no one will ever be able to threaten me because I don't listen to threats and I don't tolerate them. I'll go back into my inner world, I'll process it, I'll let it go, and I'll move forwards. Now, protecting this inner sanctuary of your mind, generating joy, generating peace, generating chaos, generating calm. What's the number one way we can do this? Well, it's a word you might have heard several times before, and it's going to be the basis of the next 3 podcasts in some format because it's a massive subject. Most people don't understand what it is, and that subject is gratitude. Gratitude has been changing my life since 2013 when I read The Secret and then began every day with putting my left foot on the floor saying thank, my right foot on the floor saying you, sitting there for 5 minutes, breathing and slowly going through my mind everything in my life that I'm grateful for. You will not find a better way to start any day. Now, every day that you wake up and you choose to feel grateful, you choose to feel happy, you choose to focus on what you want to have happen in that day, not what happened yesterday. You become future focused, not past focused. You become inspired by a compelling vision of the future, not shackled by a horrible memory of the past. Then you're taking a vote for your future self and you're taking a vote for internal happiness. When you focus on what you love, not what you hate, when you focus on people that you love, not the people that you hate, then you will start to generate happiness. And we're going to come on to so deep in the next 3 episodes why this is firmly related to the hormones of dopamine and oxytocin, and also how this is brain science related to the prefrontal cortex or the amygdala, dependent on which books you read, and how we can learn to control it. Now, happiness is a decision, right? It's a decision that you are entitled to make, and the more consistently you make it, the more natural and subconscious it becomes. That's why some people you go, oh my God, what is she on? Why is she just so happy all the time? Like I could say this about my sister-in-law, Kate. I have never met a person who is so happy all the time. If I didn't know her, I would think she had pioneered and developed some form of happiness drugs, and she sits at home all day with her love eggs in, having multiple orgasms of happiness from the second she gets up to the second she goes to bed, because it is a crazy level of happiness, a happiness that many people would find irritating, especially if they're playing the victim and they are unhappy. So The reason why she's able to be that way is because she's practiced happiness. She practices gratitude. She practices mindset. She understands these things. And it's become her natural and subconscious state to the level where she won't even have to wake up and think, oh, how do I feel happy today? But unfortunately, it works the same way. So people are just clinically depressed because they wake up and they subconsciously think depressing thoughts of lack and scarcity and fear and self-loathing and low self-worth from the second they get out of bed. And then they go onto social media and get it reinforced. And then they watch the news and get it reinforced. And then they go for a walk with someone who's similar to them so they can reinforce those negative neural pathways together. It works both ways, which is why it's so dangerous, okay? Your thoughts literally create your entire emotional state. But guess what? Who controls your thoughts? Whether you choose to believe it or not, or listen to me, you control your thoughts. You just need to learn how to do it like anything else. You need to practice it, just like you build biceps by doing reps and reps and reps and reps. These didn't just pop out of thin air. I've been repping my arms since 2013. I've been repping gratitude since 2013. You're not just going to listen to this, do it for a week and then be fixed. It's a daily practice, right? But when you do it daily, it then becomes subconscious. Now, most people think they are the result of everything that's happening around them, that they are passengers in the taxi journey of life, that the driver's there and he's just going to drive you wherever and you have no control over it. And that's not true. You are the driver. You have the key. But that's probably not what you believe right now. And this is the difference from moving from a life happens to me to a life happens for me mindset. Even the bad things that happen, it happened for you for a reason, and there's always a lesson and a gift if you're willing to look for it. This is why you can make ADHD your strength or you can make it your struggle. That's a choice. You can choose happiness or you can choose depression. That's a choice. I'm not saying it's easy. You have to work hard and you have to practice, just like the biceps. So many people will believe that they are at the mercy of what happens. Like I said, you are the defenseless passenger in that car. Life is driving and there's nothing you can do about where that car's going or what's going to happen. So you just sit back and go with the flow. The only thing that should go with the flow is dead fish. And I don't think you want to be one of them. So that is simply not true. That's a belief that's been created. I fucking hate this phrase. It is what it is. No, it's not. It is what you choose to give meaning to. It is what perspective you give. Even if it is what it is, you can reframe it and make it something that it's not. You can take it from a positive you can take it from a negative to a positive. Most people's problem is they're too addicted to talking about the negatives that they don't want to talk about the positives, because then they'd have to let go of the bullshit story of why it's different for them. Really, the cost of ownership and responsibility of your thoughts is the fact that you now have to change and adapt your behaviour in line with your new insights. And that's why most people won't do it. It's the same with nutrition. They take ownership and responsibility over their food. It means they need to adapt their behaviour in line with it, which means they need to stop going to the chippy tea and consuming 1,500 calories every Friday and Saturday night. Deep down, they don't want to do that. So they choose to keep telling a lie about why it's different for them. Okay? External events do not create your emotional state. Yes, that's what you believe. You believe that everything that's happening around you, how people treat you, controls how you feel. That's bullshit. How you treat yourself controls how you feel. What you think about yourself controls how you feel. With love and respect, I couldn't give a single fuck what any single one of you thinks about me, because I don't need that to feel good. I'm just here to help, and I'm not even here to challenge people or to push them in a certain way. That's not my responsibility. I'm just holding up a mirror of possibility. What direction anyone chooses to take is entirely up to them. It's their life, not mine. So the external event does not control the emotional state. It's the meaning that you give to it. And I've talked about this in relationships. You can choose the meaning of a relationship ending, that you weren't good enough, you weren't sexy enough, you weren't good enough in bed, you didn't have enough money, you weren't slim enough, you weren't muscular enough, you didn't have enough hair, you were too short, that's just me, and everything in between. Or you can make it that person just didn't value or deserve me, so I'm going to crack on and find someone who will. Thank you for dumping me. I'm so grateful you dumped me and you've made room for someone that's going to treat me the way I deserve to be treated. Thank you. So, just like I've said, I can say thank you to my dad for abandoning me. Thanks for showing me how important it is that I'm a good role model to Logan, that I'm a strong dad and I'm always there for him. Thank you for showing me by not ever showing up to any football or rugby game that I need to show up every single game for him, because I don't want him to be that boy looking at the touchline wondering why his dad's not there again, ever. Thank you for showing me that. I don't need to be angry. I was angry for years, but I don't have to be. It's the meaning you're giving to the thing that's happened, right? So it's not the event, it's the meaning. Like, your mind is such a powerful tool, but it also has powerful filters, just like Instagram. Every minute it receives thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of information, and it can't possibly process them all. So what it does is it selects which ones to listen to. And that is what you're in charge of. It selects which ones to listen to. It selects which ones to focus on. And from that focus, what you choose, which area of thoughts you decide to focus on, abundance or scarcity, fear or courage, happy or sad, the emotional response is created. This is the thinking center. This is the feeling center. Anyone who's had real anxiety will know exactly what I'm talking about. It begins with an anxious thought and then the body responds. Hyperventilating, shaking, sweating and everything in between, body temperature, heart rate. So we can filter only happy, grateful thoughts and we'll feel happy. I choose happiness today. I will only allow happy thoughts in my life. I will only allow happy people in my life. And I will choose happiness. Or we can filter negative thoughts. I like being depressed. I like talking about what's wrong, and I'm going to go and find more people who are depressed so we can all throw ourselves a massive fucking pity party whilst walking around a lake and putting the world to rights and just generally talking about everything that's shit in life before going to a cafe and having a shit sandwich and talking about how shit everything is. Sounds harsh, right? But it's true. Go in any fucking cafe. Trust me, you'll find those people. Go in any gym, you'll see those two people talking to each other whilst not working out. So you have to choose who you spend time with, choose your thoughts, choose your emotions, choose your meaning, choose to reframe, and choose happiness. Because happiness is a decision. I might even entitle this podcast that. Happiness is a decision. Choose happiness. It's like Ewan McGregor in, is it Trainspotting? Choose life, choose happiness. Okay, your happiness is not a result of what happens around you. It's a result of the meaning you give to it, which is your thinking. So practice thinking happy thoughts. You might think I'm absolutely ludicrous now. Practice thinking happy thoughts. Again, I spoke about Kate. She doesn't need to practice thinking happy thoughts anymore because she just thinks them subconsciously because she's been working on it for 7 years. Okay, as soon as you get up, before you go to bed, watch happy things. Note to self, watching horrific murder documentaries for 3 or 4 hours isn't a good thing to watch before bed if you want a good night's sleep and you want to feel happy when you wake up. Watching 24 hours in police custody is not going to make you feel happy and faithful about the world. Choose what you put in because that will affect your thoughts. So if you wake up today, right, think, oh my God, today is going to be so stressful. That's going to trigger thoughts of anxiety, thoughts of worry, and the brain is going to release chemicals, it's going to release cortisol that match those thoughts. Why do you think people react so angrily? Because they have angry thoughts. And their body then prepares them for an angry, stressful fight. Or if you wake up consciously, and I wrote all of these down, and direct your mind towards love, gratitude, opportunity, and the affirmation of, I am the creator of my life. I am the creator of my destiny. My energy creates my reality. I allow only happy people and thoughts in my life. I am enough, and I already have enough. Opportunity is everywhere. I have everything that I need. I am loved, I am grateful, I am happy. That's going to flood, and then go and give someone a hug. That's going to flood the body with serotonin, oxytocin and dopamine. The opposite is going to flood it with stress hormones, predominantly cortisol. So these chemicals create different feelings. This isn't woo-woo, this is brain science. This is neuroscience, this is neuroplasticity. This is hormones, okay? And you have to understand that, because I'm going to give you two examples now, right? Whichever one of those you choose, the day hasn't changed. It's still the same. What's changed is your thoughts or your feelings. It's why one person's happy, one person's sad, but they're living the same life. One person feels they have enough, one person doesn't. They're living the same life. So the brain is the thinking center and the body is the feeling center, but focus creates feelings, and your thoughts will dictate the chemistry of your feelings. Now, many of you will be blissfully unaware that you generally live life on autopilot. Every day you think the same thoughts, you do the same actions, you have the same emotions, the same routine. And neuroscience shows us that almost all of the thoughts that you have today will be the same thoughts you had yesterday. If you're happy as Larry, great. If you're depressed as fuck, we need to change that. So have you ever said one of these two things? God, I just can't get that out of my head. That poor woman, that happened and I just can't stop thinking about it. It's a depressing situation and you're thinking depressing thoughts, and then you're wondering why you feel sad. It's why people will randomly burst into tears. It's also why people will randomly laugh and hug. Okay? It's just your thoughts and you can change them. But as I said, reps. It takes daily practice, consistency, relentlessness. And it's why my clients complete a daily planner. I haven't got one to hand, but I will show you guys. So we have a daily planner that they complete every single day. 90 copies of it. Why? So we're controlling where our thoughts are focused. We're controlling where our energy goes. Because where energy goes, results show. When we place our intention, or our attention, should I say, on our intention, then we can place it on happiness. We can place it on progress. Where attention goes, energy flows and results show. So it's where we place our attention, and that makes sure that their attention is on the right place as soon as they get up. Now, here's an example, real world example from last week. No school bus to Logan School. Logan goes to school in Newark, which is about 35, 40 minutes away, depending on traffic. Straight away, oh, for fuck's sake. Have to drive him there and drive home. Then I have to drive there to pick him up. Then I have to drive back home. That could potentially be up to 3 hours per day. It's 5 days in that week. Fucking hell. I'm going to lose 15 hours work. I'm going to get to do 15 hours of super focused mindset work that is going to impact and help millions of people when I learn it on such a level I can re-deliver it like I am now. And I can't get distracted because I'm driving. There is no TV. There is no one else in the car. I can just listen and listen and listen. And I'm going to get 15 hours of personal development done this week. It's the same situation, just a different thought of perception. It's the meaning that I gave, and all of a sudden I'm excited. I'm going to get to do 15 hours of mindset study this week, 15 hours of neuroscience study. And I can't even get distracted or go and make a coffee or go and lie down and watch fucking 24 hours in police custody for half an hour. No distraction, same event, different perception. Now, what happens is, and I want you to do this now, take this away. Like, as I said, most of you don't have an information problem, you have an implementation problem. You'll probably know most of what I'm telling you. So don't just watch this, feel inspired, actually go and do it, because that's how you see change. Now, the next time you have a negative event, circumstance or thought that triggers you, ask this question: how can I positively reframe this to give it new meanings and control my emotions and how I feel? Because your thoughts will dictate the chemistry of your emotions. Change your thoughts, change your feelings, change your happiness. Because negative thoughts will create negative emotions. Positive thoughts will create positive emotions. Whichever one you choose, it's going to be an endless cycle. And this is why people who feel stuck all the time, because they keep thinking the same thoughts that are creating the same emotions and belief and telling the same story, usually about why it's different for them and how ADHD keeps them stuck and why life's not fair and how it is what it is, and the government, the immigration, the NHS, and anything else they can find. Interrupt those thoughts. Change them. Change the cycle, change your thoughts, choose positivity, choose happiness, because it is a decision. Now, to do this, you must first snap out of autopilot and become aware of how you're thinking. Because when you choose these different thoughts, you'll choose different emotions. I just did that on purpose there. Did you see how my energy went from quite calm to quite passionate? I chose to do that through my feelings. Now, how often does this happen, right? That you blame your mood on external things. I'm angry because I got stuck in traffic. I'm frustrated because people keep letting me down. I'm upset because all men are arseholes, can't be trusted, and they're all cheats and they're all narcissists. Okay? That emotion didn't come from an event or person. It came from the meaning that you gave to it. That school run is an exact example. Again, any person, it wouldn't even have to be a school run. One person can be calm as cucumber, stuck in traffic. The other person will go absolutely mad because they're going to be late and da 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 da. You can't change the traffic, but you can change the meaning that you give to it. And I need you to know that feelings and emotions are not fixed realities. And I know it's hard when you get overwhelmed and stressed, but that's how you have to catch that thought and change it. Because not only are they not fixed realities, they're energetic responses that are created by the inner dialogue of your mind. This is why I say all the time with ADHD, it's 100 times worse. You know this. That inner chatter that never fucking stops. But you control that dialogue. You control that inner chatter. And when you can change this, you'll change your energy. Now, it doesn't mean suppressing negative thoughts and that you're never ever going to have them and you'll never experience them. It means choosing to catch them, reframe them, choose the meaning that you give to them, and respond, act, and behave from a higher frequency, from a higher perspective, from a higher level of knowledge. Because you're in charge. And when you practice this relentlessly every day, it will become as subconscious as it has for Kate. And you can do that too. Because it's a learned response. It's learned habits. It's a learned skill. It's like anything. And when you practice happiness and you practice positivity and you surround yourself with it every second that you're awake, happiness and positivity don't just become a choice, they become a decision. They don't just become a decision, they become a habit, and where you naturally and subconsciously live. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I love you all. Have an amazing day, and I will see you on episode 20.